All right, are you ready to finally get a handle on your money, but without the headache of tracking every single coffee you buy? I mean, what if there was one super simple rule that could totally change the way you think about your finances? Well, there is. Let's get into it.
Yeah, if the word budget makes you want to just, run for the hills, trust me, you are not alone. Most budgeting feels so restrictive, right? It's like you're just setting yourself up to fail from day one. But what if there's a completely different way to look at it? This is where the 50-30-20 rule comes in. And honestly, it's a game changer. It just cuts through all that complexity. Forget about having a million different categories for everything. With this, you only have three. Just three buckets to worry about: needs, wants, and savings. Simple, right?
So what exactly is this rule? Well, it was made famous by U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, and it's basically a super straightforward way to split up your after-tax income. And that part is really, really important. We're not talking about your big, flashy gross salary here. We're talking about your take-home pay, the actual money that hits your bank account.
Okay, the magic of this whole thing is how simple it is. But for it to actually work, you've got to be super clear on what goes into each of those three buckets. So let's break it down. What's a need, what's a want, and what counts as savings?
And this right here is probably the single biggest hurdle for most people when it comes to budgeting: figuring out the difference between a need and a want. Think of it like this. A need is something you absolutely positively have to survive. A want, well, a want is something that just makes your life better, more fun, but you're not going to be in trouble if you don't have it. Nailing this distinction is like half the battle.
All right, first up is the biggest piece of the pie. 50% of your income goes to your needs. These are the non-negotiables, the absolute essentials. We're talking about things like your rent or mortgage, your basic groceries, not the fancy stuff, just the basics, utilities like electricity and water, getting to and from work, and your health insurance. Oh, and here's a really important one: your minimum debt payments. Those count as a need because, well, you have to pay them.
Next up, we've got the fun bucket. This is your 30% for wants. This is the money you can spend on whatever you want, totally guilt-free, because you plan for it. This is for eating out, your gym membership, hobbies, that vacation you've been dreaming of, Netflix, Spotify, you name it. See, it's not just random spending. It's an intentional part of your plan to enjoy life.
And last but definitely not least, we have the 20% slice. Now this one is arguably the most important for your future self. This is for savings and paying down debt faster. We're talking about building up that emergency fund, for when life happens. It's for your retirement accounts, investing, and here's the key: any extra payments you make on your debt. That stuff goes here, because that's how you get ahead.
Okay, so the idea sounds pretty good, right? It's simple, it makes sense, but how do you actually, do it? Let's walk through a super simple action plan that you can literally start today. Seriously, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, figure out your monthly take-home pay. Just look at your bank statement. Step 2, do some quick math. Multiply that number by 0.5, 0.3, and 0.2. Boom, those are your spending targets. And step 3, track it. You don't need anything fancy, just a simple app or a spreadsheet to make sure you're staying on track. And then you can adjust if you need to.
Let's put some real numbers on this to make it super clear. Imagine your take-home pay each month is $3,000, okay? Following the rule, that means you've got $1,500 for your needs, $900 for your wants, and $600 to put towards savings and debt. That's it. See? No crazy spreadsheets, just 3 simple numbers to keep in your head. Now look, the 50-30-20 rule is an absolutely fantastic starting point, for sure. But is it the perfect plan for everyone? Especially if your goal isn't just to manage your money, but to build some serious wealth? Let's dig into that a little bit.
This quote kind of flips traditional financial advice on its head, right? It makes you think, if your goal is to actually get wealthy, not just get by, is simply saving 20% of your money the best way to do it?
And here's the problem with just saving. It's one word: inflation. Let's say inflation is around 3% a year, which is pretty typical. While your average savings account pays you, almost nothing? So every single year, the money just sitting in your savings account can actually buy less than it could the year before. You are literally losing purchasing power. It sounds crazy, but you could actually be getting poorer by just saving.
This is why some experts suggest a totally different approach, like the 75-15-10 plan. And notice the big shift in thinking here. It lumps your needs and wants together into one big spending bucket. You get 75% for that. But the real focus, the main event, is aggressively investing 15% of your income. Why? To beat inflation and actually build wealth. That last 10% is for saving, but only for your emergency fund, not for long-term growth. Okay, so we've got the classic 50-30-20 rule on one hand and this powerful alternative on the other. So where does that leave you? How do you take all this information and actually build a financial plan that's going to work for your life?
And honestly, this is the most important thing to remember through all of this. The 50-30-20 rule, it's not some strict, rigid law you have to follow perfectly. Think of it more like a flexible starting point. Its real power isn't about hitting those exact percentages. It's that it forces you, maybe for the first time ever, to be aware of where your money is actually going. And that awareness, right there, is the single most important step to getting control of your finances.
So what's it going to be for you? Are you going to try the 50-30-20? Or maybe that 75-15-10 plan sounds more like your style. Or maybe you've got your own system. The most important thing is just to start. So I'm curious, what's the first step you're going to take after watching this? Drop a comment below and let us know what budgeting method works for you.
Hey, if this helped clear things up for you at all, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you want more simple, powerful ways to master your money, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.